Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Driving My Mind podcast. My sincerest apologies about last week. I did not have a content for you. I literally lost track of days. Between school getting out and, getting out on a Thursday, cleaning your classroom, getting stuff ready for summer school, that whole crazy weekend really messed up my schedule. And when it was already Tuesday, I was like, oh my God, like I'm missing my freaking podcast. But by that time, I was just like, forget it. I'll catch up with you guys again the next week. And that's when I was able to visit West Coast Exotics. I was able to go to a GR Movement. If you haven't seen those videos, definitely check it out on my YouTube, Your Ride and I. But I'm just glad to start summer break. Granted, my break's already over. I got to go to work tomorrow for summer school because, contrary to popular belief, teachers do not get paid during the summer. We're on a 9-10 month contract. And, during the summer break, we're not getting a check. So I got to fill in that gap. I wanted to try out summer school because I heard they actually increased the pay. And between student loans and everything coming back online, I wanted to get a running head start on that. So trying to do the fiscally responsible thing. You guys have noticed, especially those listening to my podcast, I try to incorporate finances and smart decisions like that whenever I can. But by no means am I a financial guru. Please see a professional and so on and so forth. But before I begin, I wanted to check in with you guys. Did you see the Savage Geese Integra Type S video? Man, it was done really, really well. Considering I'm a Honda fanboy, and the way the video, he was able to reach out to the product developers and really nail what that car was all about. I was thoroughly impressed with this video. If you haven't checked it out, Savage Geese Integra Type S. But I'm excited for that car. I'm excited for it's here, and apparently the exhaust sounds better than the FL5 Type R. I think I would still go Civic Type R because it has that Type R heritage and that pedigree. But I'm just glad the Integra Type S is here, and I feel like he nailed it. He said that for those that live in the past, enjoy it, keep it, drive it to reconnect with it. But if you want to move on to modernity, here's a wonderful option, and I hope that people realize that like it's cool to keep my S2000. It's cool that I still have my 240, and those are the cars of definite yesteryear, but this is the last hoorah. This is what this podcast is all about. This is the last hoorah of modern, fun, amazing cars before we go to electrification. And so we have that Integra Type S, we have the Type R, we have the Supras and the M340s with the B58. We have, we still have the Dodge Charger still here. I know they're going to be getting rid of that pretty soon. Scatty Patties and all the V8s. This is a wonderful time to be alive right now and to be a car enthusiast. There are some downsides, with cost and with, the limited availability. But if you can get past that, guys, the GR86 is here. We have these things, and it's the CT5 Blackwing. Like, we have such amazing cars. If you have the means, if you have the money, if you're a car enthusiast, this is it. This is the last hoorah. Enjoy it. This is what this Driving My Mind podcast is about, is having you guys reconnect with your automotive passion and to realize that, we live in a wonderful time right now. Go and get yourself a fun car before it's too late. I seriously keep that in mind. It could be too late for a lot of us. So go get what you want. But moving on to today's topic, we had it from last podcast, the two-car garage. We unfortunately had to make compromises for wifey and for kids and for the house and for all those things. But now we're moving on to the third car garage, part 2 of the podcast. And so this is the opportunity for no compromises, right? You maybe you have your storage or you don't have that many things, and wifey agrees, or hey, you're a big baller like me, right? And I got my own 3-car garage, whatever it may be. And so they say, all right, what do you want in here? You take care of it, right? And most guys, they're not car guys. They'll make it a gym, or they'll make it a man cave or a music hall or whatever. No. This is car land. This is car world. And so if you had that third car garage, what would you fill it in? And so I kind of narrowed this one down into three categories, and I'll tell you what I filled with mine, right? Let's start with the project car. Yes, obviously that's the most easy answer to agree with, but it's your project, right? It's your 69 Bel Air. It's your American muscle car of the 70s. It's the the Lincoln Mark IV, right? whatever it may be. It may be an old Volkswagen Beetle or Bug, and it's just something that's your kind of forever project. And you can only do that really if you have a minimum 3-car garage, because a lot of forever projects, you leave them out in the driveway and you're going to get code enforcement called on you. You go and rent a spot out, where the RV parking is, and the sun just eats and rots at it more, or people go and steal stuff because it's easy to steal it. And so your third car garage for your project car is a wonderful place to have it, and for the fact that you have that third spot, you're going to need lots of parts. You got your toolbox, your parts, supply, everything. You got your engine hoist, your engine crane off to the side. Overnight parts from Japan are coming in, right? So you're gonna have that space. You're gonna have that opportunity to utilize it to its full potential. And this is your chance to where, growing up, man, I had an 85 Fox body or whatnot. It's like, here's your chance to go back and get that Fox body. It may not be the exact same one, but you know what I mean. Go get your Fox body Mustang. Go get your 2003 Corvette, right, or whatever it may be. And here's your chance to restore it and keep it where you can keep an eye on it, right? And so your project car is obviously your go-to for your third spot. And I was just wondering to see how many of you out there have your third parking spot, if you're so privileged enough to have that, sitting with your project car. I know I do, right? My Nissan 240, which we'll get into that towards the end of the podcast. Moving right along, dream car. Obviously, it's what was your poster car growing up? Dodge Viper GTS, okay? Maybe it was Ferrari 458, or maybe it was 355, right? Mine was a Ferrari 355 with the gated shifter. Maybe it is your Lamborghini Huracan if you're so privileged enough to get one. But it could be your dream car. Maybe you're in your 50s, your 60s. I just interviewed the gentleman with the orange Z06. And that truly was a pinnacle car for him. He's been a Corvette guy all his life. But the fact that he waited 3 years to get his Z06 and then did the whole Bowling Green, Kentucky, the drive out, everything. It truly was his pride and joy. And that would be a great third spot for it. And you can go insofar as to get like the bubble that goes around your entire car to just keep all the nonsense away. You've seen that in certain YouTubers, and like Obsessed Garage, I think, showed that he had the bubble at one time. I mean, I get it, but at the end of the day, it is just the car. But it's your dream car, right? It's your dream. It's what you've always wanted. And look at Doug DeMuro with his Porsche Carrera. Shoot, I'd put that in a bubble probably. But that's where his spot fills in. And so, what are your dream cars, right? Porsche Carrera, definitely. GT3 RS, GT2 RS. For me, Porsche has always been my dream go-to kind of car that, for better or for worse, I'll probably never be able to fulfill that dream, just because I'm also kind of afraid of German maintenance and the reliability, dependability. But maybe in the next 10 to 20 years. But I want an FL5 before I want a Porsche. However you justify that thinking, I'm not sure. But like if I'm thinking of which car would I put in a bubble, It would definitely be a Porsche over a FL5. I think so. Yeah, Porsche is definitely my pipe dream car, right? My FL5 Type R would be a realistic dream, I guess. That a realistic dream that I can accomplish, right? What are your dream cars, right? What's your bubble car? And that could be in your third spot, okay? In your 3-car garage. Moving right along, the last one I always have is the impractical car. Okay, we talked about it on the last podcast. Your 2-car garage, you have to put practicality at its at the fourth. What am I trying to say? The foremost of importance, right? You have to keep practicality and the do-it-all mobiles like the GTI, like the Integra Type S, right? Things of that nature, M340s, sedans. But with a 3-car garage, you can go for that impractical. You can go for your slingshot, right? Or if you're so baller enough, the freaking KTM X-Bow, dude, those things look freaking amazing, right? But yeah, you can get your radicals and your KTM X-Bows and your more affordable slingshots, right? I put this in there. I put a G-Wagon, because a G-Wagon, as you say, well, that's a giant SUV. It's got to be practical. To a certain extent, I think it is, but you're not using a G-Wag to go overlanding and it's probably not going to see a touch of sand other than the leftover in your driveway. But a G-Wagon would be a kind of a cool weekend or fun date night car that's super impractical that, I wouldn't want to be driving or putting around because you automatically look like a D-bag in that car. But it makes you probably feel like $1 million, right? So, your G-Wag, your Slingshot, your 2-seater cars that if you're a family of 4 that it just doesn't work, right? Your Supra, right? Supra is totally impractical. It's a pain in the butt to even get in and out of that car, ducking your head and cranking your neck and all that. But once you're in it, you're just amazed, Your 911 with the deleted rear seats, you can get that impractical car. Be careful that you don't overlap it with your dream car. Your dream car is literally your bubble car. But for most of us, your impractical car is, what you feel like with a family, with a dog. I have my dog, and so I have my daily truck. And so it's easy. I took it for a walk today. That's why I'm still in freaking walking clothes, workout clothes. I just throw him in the back of the bed. I tie him to the hook, and he's happy and he's fine. But I'm not putting my dog in a freaking LC500, right? It's like, dude, her claws would just rip to shred the leather. And so, the impractical car like an LC500, it sits in its spot. You enjoy it out for a fun date night. You're trying to impress a lady friend. But that's all you kind of get to do. And that's about it. And drive, obviously. It must be a very good driving car. Maybe even your Dodge Challenger, like your Dodge Challenger Demon, right? That's not a practical car because while it is drivable on the street, you're going to be burning through tires that cost $2,000 to $3,000 to replace. And so think about those kind of cars that are just so impractical to use because of their maintenance costs, their running costs, parts timing out on them. That is what you keep in your 3rd-car garage so you can flex and you can feel like a big baller, right? And so moving on, because again, these were meant, I split up these podcasts into 2 parts because I felt like this would go on and on and on if it was in one giant podcast. So I'm glad I was able to finish part 2 of 2, right? What would you fill it in, or what have I filled it in with mine? Well, you already know. The project car, the 240, the car I've kept since freaking 2006, I think. 2006, 2007, because I got it right after I wrecked my DA9 Integra. It was non-VTEC, but I wrecked that car. And so, I was bumming around with my parents' Honda Accord, but, this was right when I started to watch the drifting stuff, and then Tokyo Drift came out a few months later, and I was like, dude, rear wheel drive, yeah, for the win, man. And so that's why I got my 240SX out in a neighborhood in Hemet, not even realizing that I was going to move to Menifee, 20 some odd years later. but I've kept that car. It's been my project. It's been my forever project car. You know, I've rolled my own fenders. I've done the clutch twice already. The interior's beat to hell now. But I still have that car, and a lot of people still give me props for it. And you know, a lot of people ask me like, "Are you gonna sell it? You know, are you gonna continue to work on it? Are you gonna fit it?" Again, my dream is to put a Vertex body kit on it, get the whole interior redone. You know, do a K8 turbo. You know, with a fully built-in motor. You know, I would love to drop $30,000 on that, but it's that's almost in the realm of dream car / impractical car. Not necessarily a bubble car unless the Vertex body kit and everything just makes it look freaking amazing. But it's something where I feel like it's always going to be my forever project car until, you know, I get maybe a girlfriend or wife that really wants me to like just finish it, get it to where I want it to be, enjoy it, and then get rid of it. Especially because I would rather buy my Type R. I'd rather buy an FL5 rather than put the money I would be paying in a car payment into the 240. And so that's where I'm kind of at. My third spot is the 240. And even if I were to get my FL5 Type R, I would probably have to be rotating those cars in and out of the garage. I'd have to kick something out, or I'd have to, you know, find a spot to rent and place it. So we'll see where that goes into. I can't wait to talk about shopping for an FL5, but that's not going to happen for at least the next couple of years. So tell me, what are you going to fill in your 3-car garage? I obviously have my forever project with the 240SX, but maybe you have something really cool. Maybe you've always been fascinated with lowriders. I used to love the big fin old school Chevys, and I still do. But obviously my tastes have evolved, and I don't want to say evolved, but my tastes have ended up going into imports. And that's where my heart's kind of stayed these past few years. And so what are your thoughts? What would you fill in with your 3-car garage? Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for letting me get a week off, I guess, right? No, it would have, honestly, it would have not happened if I just didn't lose track of the days. As a teacher, like, you're very monotonous in your routine. You need it because you need to keep your students, and you need to keep your kids in a routine. And so when summer break happens and you can get off that routine, it's just like, holy crapola, like, it's Tuesday already, it's Thursday already. Like, that's where I'm at. So I really appreciate you guys watching, listening. Thank you for letting me describe to you what you should be putting in a 2-car garage and what you should be putting in your 3-car garage. And we'll continue to catch you guys next week. Check out the YouTube channel. Check out the podcast. Check out the YouTube shorts. Oh, I got my bestie Yanni in his Jeep out in the middle of the Ocotillo Desert. Oh my God, I freaking love that video. I don't think it got a lot of views because I put the Still Dre song on it with like the actual curse words. It's one of Yanni's favorite songs, and so I had to put that. But it's a good song too because Dr. Dre is talking about, like, you know, who's the OG? Who's the real one, right? And Jeep has been the OG, the real one, since, 1942, right? So I really like that song. I love that short. I'll watch that short like every day, just once a day, just to listen to Dr. Dre and see Yanni just go do Jeep stuff, right? Anyways, catch you guys on the next one. Stay driven, stay positive, keep driving your mind, and I'll catch you next week.